Good morning. We are starting the program. May I request all of you to kindly rise to Chief Guest as arrival. Thank you. We are starting the inaugural function. Kindly switch off your mobile phone or switch over to the silent mode. We are starting the program invoking the blessings of God Almighty. May I request all of you to kindly rise for the prayer.
O Jagadishwara Sada Vichinmaya Jagadishwara Vande. O Jagadishwara Sada Vichinmaya Jagadishwara Vande. O Paripujita Paraparatma Paraparatma Anavaratam Vande. Anavaratam Vande. Anavaratam Vande. Om Jagadishwara Sada Vichinmaya Jagadishwara Vande. Jagadishwara Vande. Jagadishwara Vande.
May I now invite Professor Suma Mary Vikula, Head Department of Computer Science, to welcome this august gathering.
Good morning, one and all. Department of Computer Science is organizing an international conference in the field of data science and engineering. Actually, this is a biennial program of this department. Every 2 years we will be conducting this. This time we are proud and we are blessed to have a distinguished person as our chief guest. This data science and engineering, it is a buzzword in the IT scenario nowadays because it actually deals with big data storage and analysis. Yesterday we had a tutorial session conducted by our staff and also people from the industry in this area. Underlying for data science processing is actually business analytics. Since computer has penetrated into all walks of life, tremendous volume of data is generated every time. So if you are able to adequately process that, we will be able to get valid information. So what are the techniques that can be used for the storage of this tremendous volume of data, and also what are the techniques that can be used for the processing so that we will be able to get valid information from this. That is the main focus of this area, and we are actually having papers and also researchers working in this area. Here we got about 150 papers. We subjected that to peer review, and out of that we were able to collect 42 papers, and those papers will be presented in this conference. So today and tomorrow we are having the conference. So let me enter into my duty. Today we are having in our midst Dr. Tessie Thomas as our chief guest. She is actually the director of Advanced System Laboratory, DRDO, Hyderabad. Tessie ma'am is otherwise known as the Inaugural of India, or she is also termed or known as the Missile Lady of India. We all are familiar with her achievements. She is actually the director of the Agni guided missile project, which was launched successfully. And often we are aware about her name through the media. So we are proud to have Jessie ma'am in our midst today. Even though she is a very busy person, she accepted our invitation. So madam, we are very much indebted to you for accepting our invitation and declaring our name. So ma'am, we are welcoming you to this conference inauguration function. Next, we are having Dr. Paulus Jacob. He was actually the former head of the Department of Computer Science, and now he is the PVC as well as the Vice Chancellor in charge of Cochin University of Science and Technology. He is actually the counselor as well as a motivator behind all the events of Computer Science Department. So sir, from the bottom of our hearts, we are welcoming you to this gathering. Next, we are having our registrar, Dr. K. Sargent. Sir is always friendly to our department. He has provided all the administrative support needed for conducting this conference. So, sir, we also welcome you to this gathering. Then we have Dr. Suresh Nayak. He is the chairman of the IEEE Kochi subsection. He is also a friend of the SAT. And in fact, this conference is technically co-sponsored by IEEE. So sir, we are inviting or we are welcoming you to this gathering. One more person was there, Dr. Unikrishnan. He is actually an outstanding scientist of DRDO. Since he has some other engagement this day, is not able to come to the dais. Anyway, he was there in the morning here. So we extend our welcome in his absence to this conference. So, I welcome all the faculty members, the people who have gathered here for attending this conference, the paper presenters, the researchers, or everybody is welcome to this inaugural function. Thank you, one and all.
Professor K. Paulus Jacob, Pro Vice Chancellor holding the charge of Vice Chancellor, is the event chair of ICDSE 2014. With an impressive list of academic credentials, Dr. Paulus Jacob has been driving the Department of Computer Science for long 20 years prior to his takeover as Pro Vice Chancellor. Sir, may I request you to deliver the presidential address.
Chief guest of the day, Dr. Tessie Thomas, Director of the Advanced Systems Laboratory of the DRDO, Hyderabad, Dr. Suresh Nayak, Chairman of the IEEE Kerala subsection, Head of the Department, Professor Sumam Mary Dikula, beloved Registrar, Dr. Sargent, dear colleagues, dear invited guests, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me convey my warm greetings to all of you. My respects to the chief guest, Dr. Tessie Thomas. We are indeed blessed that she could visit us. In fact, this is a flying visit to Kerala, I must say. Particularly for this occasion, I would like to place on record the appreciation of the university at her gesture. She has been leading the Advanced Systems Laboratory for quite some time. We are indeed happy to note that all these national laboratories are contributing extensively to the development of our country. One should be reminded of the legendary speech of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru when he took over the reins of the National Planning Committee, which later evolved as the Planning Commission of India. In fact, there is a debate going on in the media about the future of Planning Commission. I am not going into that aspect. But he had observed that the future of India lies in science and technology, and that the laboratories are the temples of knowledge. In fact, it has been proved by these national laboratories that they are really knowledge creators, they are inventing know-how and thereby contributing to the development of science and technology. It is only due to the commendable leadership given by scientists like Dr. Tessie that this has been made possible, that this prediction of nation builders has been realized. On the part of the academic institutions also, we need to have a role to play in this. Laboratories, in fact, are the place where ideas are generated, where we sprout new thoughts of thinking, new channels of thinking, and produce and create new knowledge. So we need to see that in the laboratories, knowledge is created, right-minded thinking is progressing, and finally it contributes to the development of the nation, development of the society, maybe in an indirect manner. We might feel that the research that is going on in an academic institution may not be useful at that point of time, but definitely that will contribute to the breakthrough in the days to come, so that it would be useful to the mankind. I think such ideas in the laboratories of the academic institutions come only through interactions like this, only through conferences like this, when we have occasion to hear to the research work that is going on in other institutions, which ultimately can contribute to such developments. The area chosen by the Department of Computer Science, which relates to big data, I would say is the most relevant area during these days. With the proliferation of devices, smartphones, tabs, and things like that which are connected to the internet, the amount of data that is coming in is very enormous. You might have read that Google is now building one of the largest knowledge bases, which is called as Knowledge Vault or something like that, which in fact collects data, processes that, and makes it available to provide all information about the whole world to the universe, to the users. Earlier they had what they called the knowledge graph, which was in fact dependent on crowdsourcing, where somebody has to give the data and from that they have to create or produce the necessary information and provide it to the web, to those who are interested. But now they are automating this. They have developed an algorithm by which raw data can be converted with the help of machine learning to blocks of knowledge which can be made useful. But in this context, what is important is the constraint is not the computing power. Computing power is enormously available. The constraint is the time taken for retrieving this data. So where are these data stored? How do we retrieve that? That is the main problem to be investigated and adequate solutions to be gathered. Because we can even think of processing online, where the data collected is sieved, they are filtered, and only useful elements are taken and stored, which can be at a central server or something like that, which has got enormous computing power. So several such works are going on. I am sure that the deliberations of these 2 days would definitely contribute to that research activity. I must congratulate the Department of Computer Science, which has been my own department, for the initiative taken in this aspect. If you look at the computer science activity in this university, I am reminded of the period between the early 90s, maybe 92, 93, like that. At that time, we had only one postgraduate program in computer science. The university could follow a policy. I had the honor to advise and support that policy, by which now we have more than half a dozen programs, half a dozen postgraduate programs related to computer science, as well as several areas of research, which has ultimately resulted in boosting the activity in computer science. This is one of the policies that has been followed by the university, and we wish to pursue that policy by which activities in any particular domain would be supported to the maximum extent, so that we could have very good, very meaningful research output in terms of PhD thesis as well as publications which have acceptance in approved databases like Scopus, Sky, and things like that. I think it is these contributions from different departments, different areas of activity, that has helped to raise the H index of this institution above 50. I think now it's around 55 or 56. This has definitely put us at a very good stead at the national level, and that is how we are able to attract more funds, more project grants to this university, which will definitely help to improve the infrastructure. And I think it is time that we need to think about new academic programs which would attract new talents to this campus, not only from this state, not only from this country, but even from abroad. The policy of the state government is to see that Kerala becomes, or Cochin becomes, an educational hub of the whole world. I think this university has a role to play. I seek the cooperation and support of all departments, all constituents of the departments towards this endeavor. I must also say that we need the support of DRDO in such activities. We have got a very enduring relationship with DRDO. It started in the late 80s when we had an academic program, MSc in Computer Software, which was supported by DRDO. As a consequence of that, we had a computer center established with full support from the DRDO. It was managed by DRDO. Later it was entrusted to us, and I was in charge of the computer center for quite a long time. All this has helped the university to grow towards the information technology area, and we had the campus-wide network as early as 1996, 1997, where no other institution in this state had that facility. And that has helped to create email facility also, which has tremendously boosted the research activity in this institution. So I solicit the support of DRDO in continuing such activities and to see that we have very good results which would be useful to the country, which is also the mission of the DRDO laboratories. I thank you once again for your presence. Let us hope that this event will be a breakthrough or a milestone in the growth of the relationship between the university and DRDO, particularly the Advanced Systems Laboratory. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. We are honored to have Dr. Tessie Thomas, Outstanding Scientist, Director, Advanced Systems Laboratory, Hyderabad, as our chief guest. She is the Project Director of ACME, associating right from its developmental stage. Expert in missile technology, Dr. Tessie was instrumental in designing the guidance scheme for long-range missile system, which is used in all ACME missile systems. Her contribution was recognized by conferring ACME Self-Reliance Award. In her work spanning 25 years, she has contributed in different fields of guidance, navigation, trajectory, simulation, and mission design. She is a technical director for Mission Design and System Analysis Group of ASL DRDO. A long list of honors appreciating her outstanding achievements, including Lal Bahadur Shastri Award. It is my honor now to invite our chief guest, Dr. Tessie Thomas, to inaugurate the function and address the gathering.
Very respected Pro-Vice Chancellor, Cochin University, Professor Paulos Jacob, Professor Suman Mary Dupula, Dr. Suresh Nair, Dr. K. Sarjan, and all the professors from the university and all the delegates for this international conference. A very good morning to all of you. At the onset, I want to thank the Department of Computer Science and the Cochin University in giving me an opportunity to be with you as a part of this conference. of great knowledge. And the topic of this conference, data science and engineering. I'll start from the day, the year of my birth, 1963. That's coming close to that, way back in 1960. The data science was referred as something to do with computer science, no other definition. Then the years of knowledge or data generation, within another 30 to 40 years, it started being called in terms of the relevance of statistics in the science took the importance, and statistical data analysis and interpretation started coming. Then came today, if you look at the data science, it's a universe of data knowledge, and it is defined in terms of data collection, preparation, processing, visualization, management, and even preparedness or perseverance of the data, storing of the data. The technology with automated methods like for well principles, process, and techniques and algorithms for this data management has come in place. Within data signal processing, data mining, whatever different fields of application of this data can be used. Today, if you take day-to-day our examples, day-to-day our activities. For example, one decides to go to airport, and most of the days are full of traffic jam. Because since we know that we have to catch a flight, we'll be with a prior knowledge of the route. We'll decide, I will definitely get stuck in this Cochin Metro roadways, so better to take a shortcut because of prior knowledge of the data information. You are fortunate, you will still make to the airport, otherwise we may have to reroute or reroute back to home. So that is, and if in a common man, when the government declares a price hike in petrol, we all start with our scooters or car to the nearest petrol bunk to fill the petrol because we know that definitely few paise of money per liter is going to increase. And the wise and the rich ones always looks at the stock marketing forecasting based on the data or the prior knowledge. Even our meteorological department, they give us based on the data collection of wind patterns and cyclone movements. They give us early warning of the earthquakes and tsunamis, etc. All this is possible because of the big research areas with respect to the data in terms of cloud computing, computer vision, image processing, and signal processing, data retrieval and extraction. It's knowledge discovery through the social and as well as information networks. It's a collection of data science to do with a lot of big data collections, be it structured, unstructured, even through smart devices or smart sensors, that is indirect way of collecting information through videography and further sensors, smart sensors. All are possible today. If you look at today, for example, if you take a flight, Boeing jet, taking a half an hour flying duration, within that half an hour flying duration, it gives us an information of the order of 10 terabytes. And if that flight has to fly across the country, say for our country alone, it will give an information of the order of 640 terabytes. And today if we have
of the order of 25,000 flights per day, scheduled at different times. That is the type of information what we are going to get from to the air traffic control. And if you take in a field of nuclear research, it's in terms of 150 million sensors giving us informations of the order of 22 petabytes, that is 10 to the power of 15 bytes. If a test engineer in the nuclear field, per seconds, he gives out the additional information what he has to look into is of the order of 40 terabytes again. And today world is thinking of, world across South Africa and Australia, they are thinking about having a SKA, that is square kilometer array, of the order of 3,000 odd sensors or telemetry stations, gathering informations which is installed within 1 kilometer area. That's why that 1 kilometer area array is called. And it collects information, it gives information. It is expected to be established by another 10 years, 2024, it will be in picture. And it is able to collect per day basis an information of the order of 1 exabytes, that is to the 10 to the power of 18 bytes. Today if we look at Facebook alone, it has 1 million people, users transacting with almost 25 to 30 terabytes of information daily. And with the smartphones, as your Pro Vice Chancellor mentioned, with the electronic smartphones and smart devices all around, and then this internet traffic is of the order of I think 4.8 zeta, that is 10 to the power of 21 bytes. So that is the type of data or the big data what is happening around, and we are coming to a stage of data mining. In the field of management also, it is no more the intuition of a expert manager or nor the expertise of a leadership leader. It is the triple D, that is data driven decision making capabilities coming up for the management also. So the big data or the data mining, what we have to do is in terms of the challenges with respect to the volume, the variety, and the speed, the velocity, and the fourth dimension can be the validity, how accurate or correct is the information, and fifth dimension what we can add is again the value added information or the value of the information, and we can add n amount of n dimensions to this type of data for us. And for example, if you consider a network centric warfare scenario where in which different layers of communications exist with different sensors, smart sensors varying for a UAV application, UAV, mini or a micro satellites, aircrafts, fighter aircrafts, and even ground-based systems giving us information, ground-based radar installations, telemetry installations, all giving us informations with human intelligence being at the center of the data center for collecting all this valid informations into one set and deciphering the informations or the knowledge for the war. So a decision making based on all this seamless efforts of communications and knowledge database and controlling for a scenario like this. So this is a field of data science and engineering all put together. To conclude, I must say that information is a wealth, and today is a world of information. So we need to know more and more about the data science and its engineering, and I feel the conference, international conference, aim to get the true knowledge from this data science and engineering for the coming 2 years. I wish this conference a very success, and once again take this opportunity to thank all of you for giving me an opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and taking us through the landscape of big data. We have the release of proceedings of ICDSE 2014. May I request our chief guest, Dr. Tessie Thomas, to release the proceedings, and I request the IEEE Kochi subsection chair, Dr. Suresh Nair, to receive the proceedings from Tessie ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We have Dr. Sarjan, a registrar. Honorable members indicate to felicitate the occasion. May I invite Professor Sarjan, a registrar, to felicitate the gathering.
Very good morning to one and all. President of the today's function, Professor Dr. Thomas Jacob. Our chief guest, Dr. Tessie Thomas. Professor Suman Mary Dukula. Dr. Suresh Nair. Dear colleagues and participants. It is very delightful to note that the university, the various departments of the universities are organizing topics of very relevant to the present scenario. And I take this opportunity to congratulate the department to organizing such a good conference on data science and engineering. The significance or relevance of the today's conference or seminar or workshop has been highlighted by the President as well as President of the function and the chief guest. In almost all the conferences, I used to make a request that we lack in integrating the views of the conferences. There is no point in keeping the recommendations or views of the conference with us. The very purpose of the conferences is to consolidate and from the views or from the interactions of the participants and come up with a very useful recommendations, which in fact has to go to the public, which in fact to be useful for the society. This time also, now also I request the organizers that at the end of the conference, we should come out with a concrete recommendations, because as rightly pointed out by the chief guest that it is very useful. Now we coined many times data mining and acquisition. These are the very essential components which our nation as well as the researchers need. I hope that the organizers will take care of this aspect, and I wish all the success to this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your directive will be taken care of by the organizers. Now, may I invite Dr. Suresh Nair, Chairman of IEEE Kochi subsection, to offer the felicitation.
Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, delegates, head of the departments, very good morning to you. Normally VIPs arrive late. So this time I saw, I had a call from Dr. Santosh Kumar saying like you come early before the time. So I was driving to my office, then I diverted and came here. And that itself shows the, the success of Dr. Tessie Thomas. And I'm very glad to share the stage with her. I was longing to meet her. And I also used this opportunity to explain about IEEE activities here. IEEE is the largest professional association, and with around 360,000 members, and I think some of you may be members here. And we have been very vibrant in Kerala, and especially in IEEE Kochi subsection. And we had very good association with Kochi University of Science and Technology. Recently we have completed installation of eScientia, that is a spaceship exhibit where young students can enjoy at the feel of a spaceship. This is installed in Cochin Center for Science in Society, CIS is here itself. And we are extremely happy to associate with this international conference on data science and engineering. And I wish all the best for this conference. Nowadays what I miss is the the beautiful computer center which we had earlier when we were students. At that time we had to put on some garments, and it is pitch cold inside to enter in a computer room, and it was like a high-tech place. So those are the areas where the computers were placed, and we are not allowed to enter as a user. We are supposed to give only punch cards, and later on send the program or compile the program there and get the output from there remotely. So I would like to explain a small incident which I miss nowadays, because everything is in our hand, as Vice Chancellor was talking about, everything in our hand. So I think it is in 1987 or so, it gives a nostalgic feeling like I was in Tata Institute of Fundamental Research as a young scientist there, and started designing some device. I think it is 2 to 18 gigahertz coupler, I think that's what I remember, for some system. We referred a lot of papers and came up with some polynomial and things like that, and finally structure has to be designed there, into X10 type of structure. So you take that printout and give it again, reduce it using photographic technology, and then get the device. So I did all this calculation and sent a file for plotting. At that time there was no plotter accessible to the common user. It has to be done in computer center. It is a very sophisticated device at that time. So I was sending this file, and I waited for I think 3 or 4 days to get the output. I was not getting. But in my computer screen I was able to see. So you cannot go and ask also. It was such a difficult time at that time. Then finally a call came from the head of the computer center saying like, please, this user, please come and meet me. So when I went there, I thought that okay, the structure plot is ready. Then he told me, why are you wasting so much of paper? Because every day I was printing this. But then after that only I realized that there has to be another command which you have to put initially, that is pen down for the plotter. So it was pen up and plotting, and a lot of papers were coming out, and that was at that time. It was because we were not able to see what is happening there. It is something you have to imagine. So I was thinking how the Dr. Tessie Thomas is working with the missiles, which is you cannot really see. And I think with that I close this one, and it is really exciting to get associated with such conferences. Thank you very much for the organization.
Thank you, sir. Before the formal vote of thanks, As a token of gratitude on behalf of ICDSE, may I request our Registrar Dr. Sajan to hand over a memento to Dr. Tessie Thomas. Sir, please. Thank you. I now invite Dr. Santosh Kumar to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Good morning, all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. So it gives me great pleasure to propose vote of thanks for what has been went into this inaugural function of 2014 IEEE International Conference on Data Science and Engineering. In fact, this is the second edition of our ICDSE conference. First and foremost, I would like to express a great sense of gratitude to Dr. Tessie Thomas for having very graciously consented to inaugurate the function and delivering the inaugural address despite of her busy schedule. Thank you, madam. I would also like to thank Dr. Polostikov, Vice Chancellor, holding the charge of Vice Chancellor, for presiding over this function. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks are due to Dr. K. Sajan, Member Syndicate, and our beloved Registrar, Dr. Suresh Nair, Chair IEEE Subsection, and Dr. Unikrishnan for their felicitations. Thank you, sir. My thanks also go out to the dignitaries present in this occasion for taking out their time to be with us. So thanks goes to all the directors, head of the departments, all the teachers, research scholars, students of this university, and especially all the delegates who have come for joining ICDSE conference from all the parts of India. Thank you very much. I thank the media for covering this event to carry the message to the public at large. Special thanks to Mr. Jay Kumar, Scientist D. LPOL, for helping us in bringing our chief guest for this function. Thank you, Jay Kumar. Thanks to all the others who have selected ICDSE for sending their research contributions, and I congratulate all the others who have got a place in ICDSE conference proceedings. Thank you, all the others. Thanks to the HOD Electronics Department for providing this wonderful environment. Thanks to all the IEEE volunteers for attending the function. Thanks to the Antech research scholars of our department and for their contribution to run the entire show. Thanks to our ICDSE webmaster, Ms. Lenny, for her contributions. And I hope today's and tomorrow's deliberations will be useful to all the participants and have a comfortable stay in Cochin University. Thank you once again. Thank you all.
Thank you. Let us rise for the national anthem. Nayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindhu Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jagati Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jage Tava Shubha Ashisha Mage गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता